Welcome back to the channel for part 3 of the business solutions videos where we're talking about calling our qualified leads. I shouldn't say part 3 of the business solutions videos. There'll be many more videos on this to come, but this is a daily Q&A that's related to some business solutions questions that I've had today. This one specifically, this series of videos, these 3, is specifically about what to do when we're calling our qualified leads. And this part 3 of it is going to be about how to schedule time. When you're in that decision maker meeting, you've talked to the decision maker and they are going to take a meeting with you, what to do there. So at this point, we were assuming you already know all the information from parts 1 and 2, and what we're doing is trying to schedule that meeting. This link, if you're on our team, you're going to have access to this link to this page, this Calendly page that I'm going to show you how to use, and we'll go over that in just a second. I do want to mention, if you're new to the channel, new to the team, or not even a part of the team, don't hesitate to reach out to me. We can talk some more about what all this is about, what our team does, what our services are, how we make money. If you're interested in making some money on the side or even a full-time income, we'd love to entertain that conversation with you. We're always looking for new associates that are really driven to do well with their life and what they're doing. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I should also mention, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, so you subscribe so that you get access to all of the channel and any videos that are out there. You hit the bell so that you get notifications when there's no new videos put out there. And then you hit the thumbs up to help other people get access to these videos. It puts stuff in front of people that are relevant to what they're looking for, what they're talking about. Okay, on to the video for today. So in the previous 2 videos, we talked a little bit about what to do when you call the business, call the qualified lead. We're not going to go back into what kind of businesses we're calling or what a qualified lead is in this video. We're assuming you've watched part 1. We're also not going to talk to you in this video about what to say to get to the point of trying to schedule. It's just basically we've had that conversation and now somebody's like, yeah, I'll meet with you. Or yeah, what time are you thinking? You want to have this link pulled up in front of you as you're talking to them. So if at all possible, have some times in mind when you're calling the person, so that you don't have like a delay when they say, yeah, we can meet. What time are you thinking? Because if you have a delay there, that's giving them a chance to think about it and reconsider, and you don't have that delay. You don't want to seem surprised that they're taking a meeting. You want to seem like you already knew that they're going to take a meeting. Like, why wouldn't they? So have some times in mind when you first call. And the way to have those times in mind is just to have looked at this calendar already. You can click on the day, any day that's on the calendar you can click on and see what times are available. You can see these over here on the right-hand side. So as you're making the call, make sure you've checked to see what times are available and have like 2 different times in mind to make your first proposal of times, and know that they're already available, so you're not scheduling one at a time that's not available. When I say available, what I mean is I'm going to help you with these calls. If you have somebody else on your team, a manager, a senior manager, a director, somebody else who's going to be helping you with the calls, you'll want to have their link up and know their times that they can help you with the calls. That's up until the point where you're ready to do all the calls on your own. I'd highly encourage you doing these meetings with somebody else on the team until you're ready to do those on your own. And there's no harm in having somebody else on the team that is here to help you with those meetings, because you still make the same amount of money whether we're in the meeting or not. And if we're able to help you get that business closed, if you have better success because we're involved in it and we've done them before, why wouldn't you take advantage of that? Why would you not want us to? So make sure to use this calendar and do it this way so that we can help you out with it. You want to know a few times that are available. What I recommend doing is looking at a time that's in the morning and a time that's in the afternoon, and have those in mind to make the offer of the times. And if, when you're looking at the calendar, if on one day, for instance, on Monday, if the only times available are in the afternoon or evening based on where you live, and then the next day, the only times are in the morning, then you can make an afternoon offering for tomorrow and a morning offer for the day after that. one other really helpful tip is to, when you're making the offer of times, to show the person that you're serious, that it's going to be a short meeting, by saying something, by doing something like this, by looking at it and saying, well, I have something at 5:30 already scheduled, but I could do a 5:15 tomorrow afternoon if that would work for you, because that reiterates to them that there's no way this can go more than 15 minutes, because you already have something scheduled. You don't have to do it that way. You can just throw out two times. I've got a 5:15 tomorrow afternoon open, or I could do 11 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Would either of those work for you? And then if they say no, then you say, okay, in general, like what's best on your schedule, or mornings or afternoons, or what's a day that you've got some openings that we can look at. And then you just match up the calendar. You pull this back up as you're talking through them and match it up. But have something you're going to throw out in store already. Have that loaded up so that you don't sound surprised or caught off guard that they want to schedule with you. That's number one. Number two, this is really important. The first few times you go to schedule, it's easy to forget. Double check the time zone is showing your time zone, or the time zone of the business you're calling. And if you're talking to a business that has multiple locations, make sure that you're looking at the correct time zone for the person you're calling. And that comes into this being a qualified lead. If it's a qualified lead, you know where that person's at. You know more information about them, or at least you have a good chance of knowing where that person's at. If you're calling a random business that you haven't, and you just happen to get connected to the right person, and you may not know where they're located, you may just have to ask, but that's going to come across very poorly if you don't know where they're located. So make sure you have the correct time zone and you're talking in their time zone. If you happen to live in a different time zone, don't talk in your time zone and try to make them do the calculation to figure out what time that'd be for them. That's just very unprofessional. Like, we want to talk to them in their time zone. Like, we already know that information. So if that person is in Pacific time, if the phone number you called for their corporate office is in Pacific time and you're on the East Coast, already have that math done in your head about what that means to you for your schedule. Don't talk to them about anything else. Just talk to them about Pacific time. You change the time zone right here. Like, look at this little drop down. You can pick any time zone you want. And most of your leads, most of the people you're calling are probably going to be businesses that are in your area. So most of them will have the same time zone as you. I don't want you to worry that the people you're talking to are going to be all over the place. Most of them are going to be businesses that have a location in your area with their HR person there. But you will occasionally get somebody where it's a bigger company. If you're calling a company that has hundreds and hundreds of employees, it's fair to assume there's multiple locations, and so you may want to just confirm. So I have you out of the Tulsa, Oklahoma office, is that right? Or are you in a different location? And if they say they're in a different location, be like, okay, if you aren't familiar with where that city name is, then you might say, okay, I'm not sure, is that Eastern time? Or, like, you might ask to if you have a guess at what time zone it is, you might say the guess and then fall flat on your face if it's the wrong time zone, and that's okay. It's okay to do that, but you just make sure to show some information, like you've done at least a little bit of research to know where they're likely to be. You don't want to just be caught off guard completely and sound like you just had no idea where their business is even located. That's not going to bode well for doing business with them. Remember, people don't need a bunch of different reasons to do business with you. They just need one. And 9 times out of 10, the reason that they're going to do business with you is because the one reason is going to be because they want to do business with you. It's not going to be because of anything that we have to offer, anything we have to sell. It's going to be because of that relationship, and they want to do business with you. So keep that in mind. Just, sound professional, be prepared as you're going into that with some times that you can propose to them, and don't worry if you do start to fall flat on your face. Don't get defensive or anything about it. Just make light of it, make a slight joke at yourself. Oh, really? Los Angeles isn't in New York anymore? I forgot about that. That's not actually all that funny. It's kind of weak, but Just don't be afraid to poke fun at yourself if you misspeak and say something's, in the wrong place. So that's the basics of getting the conversation going on the time. And then when you go to actually book it, it's as simple as clicking the time that they wanted to do, clicking next. You put the name of the person in there. So let's say the company's name is Grammar Plus. Okay, so let's say that that's the name of the company, Grammar Plus, and let's say that the individual is named Sarah. Sarah of Grammar Plus with, and then you put your name. So let's say your name is Michael. And Michael Jones. And then put something that it regards. So like regarding, RE means regarding. So RE with a little colon like that. Like employee benefits. So something like that will look good on their calendar when you go to schedule it. And that would be the way I'd suggest doing it. Something along those lines. Just make sure that the important things are on there, like the name of the person that you're scheduling with, the name of their business, your name, because they're going to recognize that, and what it's about. Because especially if you're not scheduling for the same day, if you're scheduling for 3, 4, or 5 days down the road, they're going to have a bunch of stuff on their calendar. If all they see on their calendar is their own name, why would they ever click on that link? They're never going to remember what that is unless you put some information there that helps them remember what it is. So make sure to add some more detail to the name section. That name doesn't mean their name, it means the name of what the event is. And that'll go a long ways towards making those successful. Email, you put their email address. If you don't know their email address, say, while you're scheduling it with them, just great. Can I get an email address that I can send the Zoom link to, or the email confirmation to, for our meeting? And then they'll give you an email address. If you do already have one from your fact finding for that company, then you would want to confirm that email address is the valid email address for them. Okay, great. I'm going to send that Zoom link and the calendar invite to Sarah Jones at grammarplus.com. Is that right? And they'll confirm that one way or another for you. Add guests and put your own email address here. So the reason for that is so that it goes on your calendar too, and you have access to the Zoom link. You can reschedule using that link if they reach out to you to reschedule. But you want to make sure you put your email in that add guest feature. If you don't do that, you're not going to know. It's not going to be on your calendar, and you're going to have a hard time on the day of the meeting, and then that's going to come through poorly. So make sure to add your own email in the add guest section. So their email and then your email in the add guest. There's a little plus here that I clicked. Back up the video if you need to see that little plus, but you click the little plus and that opens up the guest email section. And then the bottom one, what is the nature of this meeting? Just click on and select business solutions. So it's as simple as that. Make sure you filled out all these fields, and then you click schedule event. And then that'll schedule it. That'll get the Zoom link to Sarah. It'll get a calendar event on Sarah's page. It'll get calendar event on your page and the Zoom link to you. It'll get on my calendar so that the time's blocked off. Nobody else can schedule anything at that time. That title of the event will give me enough information to know what it's about and who to expect. And it just gets all of the ducks in a row that you need for that meeting to go to go well. So that's how to get it scheduled. Make sure you click schedule and you don't just leave it filled out and then close the page. But that's how you get it scheduled. That's the hardest part of doing all this, is getting that meeting scheduled. Everything in business solutions, getting the meeting scheduled is the hardest part. That actual meeting, when we have those meetings, they usually go well. They either result in getting set up, or they result in a future intention of getting set up. So, let's just get as many meetings scheduled as we can. That's the hard part. And if you can do this, if you can get those meetings scheduled, you'll go a long ways. You don't have to get tons of them scheduled, but if you can get, 2, 3 meetings, new meetings scheduled every single day that you're making calls, you're gonna very quickly start earning a lot of money in this business. If you can get one new meeting scheduled every single day, you're going to be making really good side income at a minimum. Because obviously some people aren't going to show up, some people are going to reschedule. Not all those meetings are going to go off, and not every one of those meetings is going to result in immediately having somebody move forward with what we're doing. But some of them are, and it doesn't take a lot to result in high income in this business. It just takes a handful going really well each month, and you'll make really good income. So make sure to get your meetings scheduled. Go back to parts 1 and 2 if you haven't watched those, to recap what to do and say to get to this point. Once you have it scheduled, just get off the call. Don't linger on the call and give them a reason not to show up. You get it scheduled. Great. I look forward to talking to you on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Let me know if you need to reschedule or anything, but I look forward to talking to you then. And then get off the phone. And don't talk them out of it. And that's it. So I hope that these videos have been helpful. Like I mentioned, make sure to post comments or send me Slack messages if you have questions about any of this, or want to go over specific objections, questions related to anything that we're talking about, anything else that you are unclear on what we're saying. I went through something too quickly and you need some further explanation, just reach out to me, and I want to help you. If you're running into that challenge, so is somebody else. And the only way we can really do this effectively together is by knowing what all challenges everybody's running into. So I want to help. I'm here to help. Send me questions. We'll talk soon. Thanks.